I'm Honey German. My parents are Dominican. I was born and raised in New York City. I love sneakers, and I'm a body positive advocate.
I'm Carolina Bermudez. Soy nicaragüense, but I was born and raised in Ohio. I'm a wife, a mama, and a worker bee. This is Life in Spanglish.
Okay, this is episode 4 of Life in Spanglish. I'm Honey German.
I'm Carolina Bermudez.
And we have gotten our first email from a listener that wants us to tackle a specific topic.
Okay, and this is where you can send us your emails, lifeinspanglishpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, so if you have something that you feel like me and Carolina would be amazing at talking about, email us and we'll make it one of our topics.
I'm just glad Honey checked the email.
I'm thirsty. I'm checking everything. I'm checking DMs. I'm checking tweets. Just
No,
making sure everybody is in order and there's no type of messiness going on. But
no, this is good.
But this email comes to us and she's telling us that she has a friend who has a boyfriend and they're all really close and they go out a lot of the time. But this one particular couple likes to argue in public. She wants to know, is it okay to interrupt a couple or maybe intervene when a couple is arguing? And this is a couple she knows.
Yeah, see, I don't know. That's tough. I think just the Good Samaritan in me, if I were to see people arguing on the street, I've actually stopped and made sure that the girl is okay. Or my husband even said to me, he's like, you are going to get yourself in trouble, because I've gone up to a girl and been like, are you okay? Do you need help?
I love you.
No, because you know what? There are too many Datelines that I've seen in 48 Hours Mystery. I will not be the one that lets something go on my watch. So, if the girl says, yes, I'm okay, then that's okay. I'm a witness. But that's people I don't know.
It is people you don't know. And, you have to gauge it. It's kind of because I argue with my husband in public all the time.
Do you guys?
Listen, if anything,
but people might misinterpret that that might just be you guys, the way that you communicate. Other people might think oh my gosh, they're really in a big fight.
If I see any type of violence or or if the man is being the aggressor and it seems like more of a victim type of situation, I might intervene. Actually, what's crazy is if I see anybody on the train crying, I'm always like, are you okay? Do you need anything?
Yeah.
But I see people uncontrollably crying, it really tugs at my heart. To see any, especially a woman crying.
I hate it.
If I see a man crying, I'm definitely helping him, because men don't cry, especially in public in front of strangers.
No.
But I try to mind my business as much as I can, especially if it's couples I don't know, because me and my husband don't try us. We might end up jumping you if you try to get involved in some mess that we're going through right now. Yeah,
so
we'll turn on you in 1 second. We'll be like, what?
Oh, okay. So then don't go where you're not wanted, kind of thing.
Kind of, sort of.
We're gonna figure it out on our own.
We're gonna figure it out. But it's touchy. It's weird, especially if she's barking just as loud as he is. I'm like, oh, Lord, they having drama. And I saw that at a restaurant probably last week.
Right.
And it's crazy. They were sitting right next to us, and neither one of them ate. It had to do with another woman.
Oh, geez. And she knows the whole thing.
Okay. Of course. They were right next to us, and she just kept asking him and pressing him, and he had this big, juicy burger, and I'm like, you're not going to eat that?
Oh, my gosh. You're like, it is getting cold, honey.
But she was holding her own, so I mind my business.
But see, so wait, if it's your friend, so for this email that we got from a listener, where if you're in a relationship with these friends, I think it's more difficult for you to intervene, because then people look at you as what does my mom say? A metiche.
Yeah, mind your. A lot of people say mind your business.
Right.
Couples are going to work their stuff out, and they're going to end up back together, and then you're going to be the bad guy.
And you don't want to be in that spot.
But I also don't want to let these people think that it's okay. We're not going out, and you guys are going to be wilding out like Ike and Tina. We're not doing this. I'm going to need y'all to calm down and act like civilized people.
Yeah, but then when you're friends with both of them as a couple and you try to defend, let's say, for example, the woman is wrong in the one case, then she's going to be like, oh, why are you siding with my man? I thought you were my friend. I just feel like there's just no way to win in that.
I'll be telling my friends,
argument.
I'll be like, bitch, you know you're wrong.
No, don't you?
You know you're wrong. I'm going to need you to calm down. You cheated, and we got to have to massage the situation so he don't leave you and throw you in the streets.
Hilarious.
So you got to really talk to them on the side. Be like, listen, you my girl, but he's kind of got a point here.
Yes, absolutely. But I don't know if we really helped our listener out. Do you intervene when your friends are arguing? I don't know if I could tell you that.
It depends. If I'm close to both of them, I am going to intervene, and I am going to let them know, guys, wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
If you guys need a mediator or you need somebody, I've mediated between couples.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I can't handle
Some
it.
couples are so especially if cheating is involved or or somebody had a baby on somebody.
No.
Some of those people cannot come together without a person in the middle. Like, you talk, let them speak, calm down, wait till she's done crying. I've done it.
See, like life experience right there, I'll tell you, and I'm not even saying this to be funny. Like, I've never had a relationship or a friendship where that's happened, where I've had to counsel someone, and that I don't know if I'm capable of it. I don't think I would be the best person.
I've done it. I've done it, and my sisters have done it for me. You know, before me and my husband got married, we went through a lot of stuff.
But then don't you think that your sisters see, like, knowing me as a friend, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think that just myself as a person, I don't know if I could ever forget those things that you told me about him and not be judgy. As your sister, as your best friend, as someone who loves you, I think that's so difficult. And I give credit to people who can, because I'm just saying, for me personally, I would never be able to, if I love you and you're my heart and you're my girl, I'm going to always look out for you, and I will always have that in the back of my mind.
But then there's always the whole, like, if I got over it, you need to get over it.
Correct.
And I have two sisters, and they're very different. My older sister adores my husband and sees him as a brother, like, independently of our marriage or our friendship.
Okay.
So it's like, if I'm good, if we've made amends, if I've forgiven, if he's forgiven,
she's good.
She's good with it.
Okay.
She adores him. Now, my younger sister, she kind of tends to get stuck on things.
Bella's scrappy.
Oh, she is scrappy.
She's a scrappy German.
And he's told her, you need to mind your business.
Yeah.
And she's like, she is my business.
But
Finger
wait a
all
minute.
in his face.
Is their relationship like she's his younger sister
Yes,
too now
it
then?
is.
Okay, but that's okay.
It is, but I still come first.
Right.
So it's like, if there's any type of friction between me and him, she's ready to fight him.
See, that's how I'm Bella. I'm Team Bella all the way, man.
Yes.
I am. I'm sorry. That's just my style. Like,
And if he stresses me out, she'd be like, yeah, because you know your husband. He loves to stress you out.
and she's the first one to point it out to you. She's a little honey badger, that one.
She
so,
really is.
Yes. Yeah.
And she loves him, and she sees him as a big brother.
Yeah.
But she hasn't made that whole, like, she hasn't let the lines get blurred. She's always like Team Honey.
I think that's a maturity thing, though, because maybe I'm not mature enough yet. Really.
It could be.
I mean, I'm 40. I should be, but I feel like if I know something on a person, and if they're gonna ever mess with somebody that I love, I don't think I could forget it. That's just my personality. I'm a Taurus, you know. Like,
my
I'm
husband is a
real...
Taurus. He's
See,
not
that's the
forgiving at
thing.
all. He tells me, if you ever cheat on me, it's a wrap. You never coming back.
I've said the same thing to my husband. You know, I got married later on in life than my friends, so I got married at 31. I just said to my husband, I was like, I waited this long. I'm not trying to mess this up, and you better not be either. And I know people say you don't know until you're in the situation. You have no idea. And I get that. And I hope to never be in the situation. But I said to him, don't do it.
Don't.
Because I don't believe that I, as a person, am capable of getting over something like that.
It's very, very hard.
I had a guy cheat on me before I met my husband, like my long-term, long-distance relationship and cheating. And I think that was the worst lesson I've ever learned in my life. No, for real, because it taught me so much about myself and what I would never put up with.
Yeah, tolerate.
You know? So, I don't know. Getting in the middle of friends, I just think it's like, oof.
Getting in the middle of couples and relationships. Like I said, I'll bring it back. If someone looks like they're in danger or they're going to be hurt or there's violence in the argument at some point, I feel like I would step in. Even if I don't know the people, I would be like, guys, chill. Like, you just go your separate way. You go your separate way. Come back at a different stage.
Yeah.
Because sometimes arguments tend to get very heated, especially if it got anything to do with cheating. Bro, if you want to see some people want to kill each other, is a couple fighting about somebody cheating.
So, you know, I disagree. I think if you ever want to see people kill each other, go to Whole Foods and have people arguing over the prices. I got in the middle of I'm not even kidding you, and I'm not making light of
the price of the grapes.
This woman was berating. I'm not even kidding you. And I like, my stomach is like boiling right now because I'm so upset about it. I was at Whole Foods. By the way, the rudest place. The people who shopped are so freaking rude. And this woman was yelling at the worker about the price, right?
Bruh, I don't own this place.
That's what she goes, ma'am, and she was super polite. I'm standing there watching this whole thing, and this older lady, and I'm not even going to get into like, you know, somebody was this or that. Older lady, younger woman. The young woman was very polite. You could tell that she was like restraining herself from saying certain things. This older woman was just so condescending, so rude, so nasty. Finally, she called the manager over, and I went, la metiche. I got in there. I did. I go, excuse me, sir. I said, I just want to let you know that she handled herself very well. I said, this woman is rude.
I love you.
You are rude. And she was like, why do you know? And she was like barking at me.
I'm a witness.
I said to her, and I actually went up to the manager after and I said, I have to commend your worker. I said,
That's so dope of you.
Because you know what? That girl, if that were me, I would have wanted to knock somebody out.
I would have lost my job right there. I'm not dealing with that.
And you know that there are some people who like wouldn't. She was so good about it. And I said, you know what? If me going to the manager helps this young lady, I'm going to do it.
I've done that before.
Yeah. And it's important to do things like that.
No, I've done that. I've gone to managers and been like, this person was so amazing.
But if you're getting in a fight and you're a couple, I don't know how to help you.
If it's my friends, I'm definitely getting involved. I'm helping in some way, shape, or form. I'm just like that person. And couples always come to me. They always confide in me. And I've needed help before in the past. I've needed people to intervene, whether me and my husband are crazy. Yo, we will fight in public. I am the girl, well, not anymore. I've gotten older. But I'm the girl that like pulls the steering wheel and be like, we gonna die right now.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
we gonna crash. You won't be messing with me?
Did you see the meme where it says, none of this, I hope he moves on and has a great life without me? No, you get in the casket right now with me. If I'm going, you're going too.
That is me.
That is honey at her finest.
I've calmed down though. I used to be real crazy.
I used to be scrappy too back in my day. I act like I'm all like refined and stuff. That I used to get down though. I did.
I'm too tired
I
now.
did. I'm just exhausted.
I used to break the whole house. I swear to God. I used to be like, okay, I'm breaking everything. He used to be like, you paying for all this shit?
Like, what is it? Waiting to exhale? Like lighting the Mercedes on fire?
Exactly.
That would be me.
But then we go to bed together at night.
Exactly. I love you. We'll fix it later. I did want to get into something, too, that I was looking at. So I don't know if we helped you with your problem, honey, but you know what? You could always email us and we'll confuse you about something else.
We could FaceTime you, too, if you want to.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to put yourself through that.
If it's, okay, here's the bottom line. If it's strangers and nobody's in danger, mind your business, go to work, continue on your commute or whatever you're doing. If it is
your friends.
Exactly. Then, don't take sides. Be like a neutral mediator type of person. And if somebody's in danger, call the police.
There you go. Now, there was something that I found that I thought was very interesting because as you get older in life, it seems that loneliness has become an epidemic in the United States and around the world. So
it really is.
This is so crazy to me, though, and I didn't even think about this subject until a young lady called into our show. Cubby and I do a morning show on KTU. And she said that she was in her 20s and that she's having a really hard time finding friends. And I said, I've been there. I have been there.
What, when you moved to New York?
I moved to New York when I was 26, I believe. I think, I'm bad at math. Yeah, I think I was 26. And I didn't know anyone. Really, the only friends that I could make were through work. So it was a bunch of my coworkers who were male coworkers, didn't have anything with them, so I could really sympathize. I said to her, I think this is really hard. It's hard later on in life to find friends, especially now with technology, especially now that people are on dating apps, you don't meet people the same way. And I thought about myself at this life stage because I've always been transient. I left Ohio when I was 18 years old. I went to Arizona. From Arizona, I went to LA.
So you weren't able to really make
Miami.
Roots with friends.
Exactly. And then I came over here to New York. Well, now just recently, 3 years ago, we moved to Long Island. And I found myself in this place where I was 37 years old and I didn't have any friends.
Aw, that's so crazy. It kind of happened to me too when I moved to Jersey.
Yeah, well, because what? Your friends are in New York.
All my friends were in New York and then it was like impossible to see them.
Well, timing and your career and their career and life stages and everything. And so I found this really interesting article and it's called The Blue Zones. You guys may have heard about it and it's the way that people live and like how to live a really full, excuse me. You're definitely going to have to edit that.
We're going to edit that.
And it's about how to live a full life. And it talks about like what people look for in each other. And really, you need to find people who will lift you up in other ways. Like, so let's say you find a friend that loves to do yoga. This friend is helping you do something that is really great and beneficial for yourself.
Yeah.
So this is a great friend for you to have. Now, if you have a friend who likes to do crack, probably not the best friend to hang out with because you're going to go down that road.
And we're going to be crackheads together.
Then you're going to be crackheads together. You're going to be getting in arguments all the time. So, but no, I just thought it was an interesting topic for us to talk about because I think there are so many people who in this life stage are surrounded by so many people, but you still feel so lonely.
Yeah. With social media, it's like I feel like a lot of people are not making genuine friendships in human form, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely.
People feel like they interact with a lot of people, they get a lot of likes, they get a lot of DMs, and that's their friendships. And it is hard to make friends as adults. Like I've recently made one friend as an adult, but most of my friends are like 10 years old. I have like friends from high school.
Right.
It's really hard to just be like, hey, you want to be friends? And people here, especially New York, New Jersey, everybody's very skeptical. They don't know what you're about or what your motive is.
Are you trying to use me?
Exactly, what your angle is. So like me personally, I don't let a lot of people in my inner circle.
Right.
Especially now, it's like I feel like people tend to like gravitate towards you just because of what you do
Absolutely.
or how popular you are. Oh, she's on the radio. I want to be her friend. That's not what we're doing.
Right.
But it is very lonely, and I do know people that are having a hard time, making friends as adults because of that also, because you don't know what people's angles are. You don't know where they're coming from or what they want. But social media is making it even more difficult because in your mind you think you have all these friends. I have 200,000 friends, but
they're not your friends.
But then you see none of them. They're not your friends. You don't even know where they are. You don't even know if those pictures are real. So I feel like social media is kind of like hurting us, and we're not, building genuine human form friendships, even with the people that are around us because of that.
Well, even like if you think about it, when you go out to dinner, and I have to ask you this, honey, because you're so much more connected to your phone than I am. Like when you go out to dinner, do you put your phone away?
Yeah.
You do.
I never want to be that rude person. I used to be at the beginning. I used to be like, oh, well, I need to know what the celebrities are doing. I can't miss anything. I got to see, if somebody had a baby, if somebody died, I got to post it right away. Now I make it a point to actually put the phone down next to me.
Right.
And if I see like 3 or 4 people have their phone out, I might check my phone really quick.
Right.
But I do purposely want to
You
engage.
go with the social cue.
Yeah, exactly.
Of like what everybody else is doing.
But if everybody's talking, I don't want to be that person in the corner like scrolling through Instagram and liking pictures, because that's like disgustingly rude.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like at this point, I'm not the person who's on my phone constantly, but I do have to be mindful of it because of my children. So I think there's a big difference there. It's not like I'm checking Instagram, but that's what
I would be doing.
I am looking and tapping my screen, like just making sure that the babysitter is like still alive. They haven't tied her up or anything, because they'll do it. But no, this is like, that's why it was this article. I thought it was interesting that it was like, how do you find companionship outside of romantic relationships? And so this article that I was talking about in the Blue Zones, if you guys are interested in it, it talks about like cultivating these relationships where you engage in a weekly activity. So I mentioned to you that like one of my friends is like a yogi friend, and so we would always meet up to go to yoga, and like we weren't even like really that close to begin with, and then we just started like going to yoga classes, and then she was like, I found this hot Pilates class, do you want to come with? I'm like, yes, I'm down, and so then like through that I started to get to know her friends, and it was a release for me. So finding something that you can engage in that's a healthy activity or a healthy thing is something that might be helpful to people. Or volunteering. I know a lot of people want to do something like don't you have those friends that are just like, gosh, I wish I could do something more with my life?
That's me.
Well, but what's stopping you from like volunteering every once in a while?
I'll be tired, Carolina.
I know,
ain't even gonna hold you.
But
I'm like, I want to feed the people for Thanksgiving, and then on Thanksgiving morning, I'm like, I want to be in my bed.
Come right up here to this mission, right up here on White Street. My husband and I did it.
Okay.
It is
on
one of the most
Thanksgiving?
rewarding. Yes.
I'm gonna come do it.
It is one of the most rewarding, beautiful things that you can do for yourself. It puts your life in perspective. It really makes you stop and think and be so grateful.
You see, I need a friend like you.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. This is what the Blue Zone is all about, though. No, for real. And so then it says, like, get out and about. Like, it says, like, get out with your animals or get out and about with your dogs or be, like, one with nature. The other day, and I'm sorry, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but the other day, my sons and I were sitting. We were just looking out the front door. We weren't doing anything. Just looking out the front door.
Like hanging out in the stoop
just
in front of the house?
Hanging out right in front of the house. There was like a little bird, and the little bird was just there. And I said to my son, Asher, look at that little bird. And I'm like whispering to him, yeah, Mommy. I said, just take a minute. Look at the birdie. And he's like looking at his eyes. He's looking at its little feathers, and we're seeing it. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, is this bird going to die in front of my kid? Like, I'm telling you to watch this bird.
Okay, I was just inspired, and I was like, oh, and now I'm like, Carolina.
No, but I'm going to bring it back to you. I'm going to bring it back
Please.
to you. Every night when we pray, I say, what are you grateful for today? And Asher that night, he said, Mommy, I'm so glad I saw the birdie. I never saw a birdie that close before.
Oh my God.
So taking the time to stop and appreciate the little things,
Yeah, even the little things in people.
little things in people. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, there are a lot of people who feel lonely. They feel like they don't have friends or they don't have a network. And it's okay to say that you feel alone. It's okay to say that you might not be as comfortable as you were like in high school or college, because other people feel that way too. But hopefully we've given you some tips or some clues to maybe form some relationships or some friendships outside of your circle.
And here's one thing also, Carolina. I feel like people are very quick to dismiss their friends. Based on like they messed up. That's it. I'm never talking to them again. Or I don't like the people they're hanging out with. I'm cutting them off. That's also something that I talk about a lot. A lot of my friendships, I've had ups and downs with these people. They've had, times where they've dated people that made them act differently towards me. Or, I found out they were maybe discussing things about my life that I didn't want them to discuss. You also have to forgive the people that there's some things that you're like, that's unforgivable. You're cut off. But sometimes you have to talk it out with people because sometimes that's how you end up with no friends. You cut everybody off.
That's some grown girl shit right there. And
really
let me tell you something. No, for real. I just had a situation that happened last week. 2 weeks ago. One of my new friends, one of my newer friends did something, and it made me feel uneasy. And I went to my husband, of course. If you guys listen to the podcast, he's like the dude that I go to for everything. And I told him, I said, I'm feeling really unsettled by what this person did, but I really like her and I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. And he said, then do that.
Yeah.
Then tell her. In the past, when I was younger, I would be like, cut off, bye-bye, snip, snip, see you later. I don't need you in my life. As an adult, as I matured, I said to her, I go, it's more uncomfortable for me to bring this up to you than it might be for you to hear it, but I need to say this because you crossed the line and I need to tell you what it is. And when I tell you, the response was even better than what I expected, because we just kept it super real. And she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. She's like, I'm so sorry.
You see what I mean?
And I said to her, I go, you know what? It is done. As far as I'm concerned, this never even happened. But now and I know what our boundaries are, and it's all good.
And you were able
to
salvage the friendship.
And it's like we never skipped a beat.
And that's super dope.
But that's important for you to say things to people and not be so quick to like fire off like, an email or a text that says, F you,
You're
done
blocked.
with you.
Yeah, I blocked you on everything.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the easier thing. It's grown girl shit that you have to address it head on and talk about it as an adult. And then you see where the relationship goes. Because thank goodness for me, I mean, she's a beautiful person and I love her and I love her family. And I'm so glad that we got over that. But isn't that what friendships are?
It is what friendships are.
Going through all of that kind of stuff.
And none of us are perfect. Trust me, like I don't move the best way. I sometimes say very rude things. I'm very like abrupt and very like frank. And it's just like, yo, when are you going to leave this job? You've been here 10 years and you haven't moved up. Like that's the type of friend I am.
Right.
Not in a bad way, but someone might take it the wrong way.
Well, you're looking at it as a motivational thing for your friend, let's say. Like you would be like, come on, girl, like get on it. Or somebody would be like, wow, you just called me a loser.
Yeah,
like,
you're cut off, So it's like, I
Thanks.
know I'm not perfect. So when I have a lot of my friends from high school.
Yeah.
So, but trust me, sometimes I've gone 6 months to a year without talking to them. I had a friend that went back to school and I told her, I was like, wow, I feel like our friendship is really not important to you anymore. But I do understand that you finally want to graduate college. So I'm just going to take a back seat until a year or two go by. But her graduating college is more important than me talking to her every day or going out with her every day. But some people are like, F her. I don't talk to her. I don't see her anymore. She's cut off. She's not my friend anymore.
But those are the self-centered people who need it to be about them.
But that's how you end up with no friends.
That's true. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I hope if you guys want to look it up, it's called bluezones.com and it'll give you guys some more advice. And it's also about like wellness, just wellness all around.
I need wellness.
I need like a cold shot right now. I need like a massage. I need it all, girl. But look, we'll be back to do it again next week.
Of course. Now, if you guys need to reach us, you can email us, lifeinspanglishpodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow us on social media. I got some social media drama, but for now, I have another page. It's called I Am Honey German on Instagram. We're going to get into that one day once I solve this problem. But follow the podcast. It's called Li Spanglish on Twitter and Instagram. And we also have a Facebook. It's called Life in Spanglish. So you can find us. And Carolina.
Yes.
Where can we find you?
Oh, I'm the real Carolina everywhere.
Not to be confused with
No,
anything else.
there was an imposter, but no, definitely email us and be in touch with us because we are looking at getting guests on the show. We want to talk to other people. We want to talk to you about the issues that are affecting you. So hopefully we can help you guys form better lives and live your life in Spanglish.
Hey.